8th Grade is directed by Bo Burnham, and this is the first actual authentic middle school experience that I've seen on film. You often get films such as Diary of the Wimpy Kid and several other movies that try to depict the middle school kind of life and the whole atmosphere of middle school, but none of them really succeed as well as this film has done. And I think it's really unique in that department because it portrays middle school in a very serious way that we haven't really seen before. The film's protagonist is played by Eliza Fisher, and she is so believable in her role. She feels like an authentic 8th grader. She is about the same age. She doesn't wear makeup on set, and she just feels very real, and the performance was very good and very believable. And kind of it's one of the best performances of the year, to be honest. All the actors do a really good job in their role and make the movie even more believable. This great acting matched with the great script and the great authentic dialogue and all that stuff just makes it feel very real. The script is really good, the dialogue is very well done, it feels like 100% authentic. It's not dramatized like in a movie. It feels like you're watching an actual scene, like a fly on a wall or something like that. And I find that most teenage movies or like high school, middle school movies, well, there is only one middle school movie that is serious, but most of these movies that kind of are coming to age movies work really well if they really put you into that fly on the wall perspective and really let you just watch what's happening and not try to like make what's happening specialized for your experience, and instead just make it feel very realistic. I think that just makes the movies work very well in terms of these kind of coming to age movies. The film is also very well edited. There's really some funny edits, one including the girl's crush. When you first see him, there's this upbeat music playing really loud, and then it's contrasted by the next cut where it's like the realistic, he's just walking and it's just normal without any music. And that kind of editing is really funny, and you see that and many other funny edits throughout the film, and it's really nice to see. The music in general is also really good. No one is really talking about the music in this film, but I thought it was really wonderful. It's kind of like pretty original and very memorable, actually. The film also does something really unique in terms of showing this girl making YouTube videos, which is something we've seen in movies before, but this movie does it really interestingly because the things she's trying to say in her YouTube videos, she doesn't actually really participate in them. So she gives advice, but she doesn't really know how to she doesn't really take her own advice, and throughout the film it looks like she's trying to give herself advice, and it's just a really interesting kind of way for the character to kind of talk to herself. The film also does a really good job putting you into these really awkward situations that you just kind of cringe and you just really want to just run away because it reminds you of your own experiences, and I thought that just made it very personal, made it a very personal experience, and in total, the movie just does a very good job just making you feel what the character is feeling. Kayla, our main character, is a bit over the top sometimes, but she does feel like a real character. I can imagine some people I know behaving like this, and she feels like a real person, which is what really matters in these kind of coming to age movies. Because you really need it to be authentic if you want to make it seem real and if you want the audience to care about the characters. And the character, of course, has a very sweet coming to age story, which is kind of like something, it's not a unique coming to age story, but it just is a good backbone, a good skeleton for the whole movie. The movie in total just does a really good job managing to change its tone dramatically. You get these really funny sequences, then these really cringy sequences, and then you get these very intense sequences, and it's all really cool and interesting to watch. I really have to emphasize the point that I thought it was very clever that they set this movie in middle school, because we've seen so many movies already in high school, and it's kind of become a cliche to set coming to age stories in high school. Middle school we haven't really seen that much, and I thought it was just very clever. This story could have easily been told in high school as well, but I just thought it suited the middle school better because we don't really see that much, and it just makes it feel a whole lot original. And showing perspectives of teenagers is kind of overdone now. we've had so many coming to age stories about teenagers, from becoming a teenager to an adult. We now need some stories about, you know, other changes in your life. The thing is, I would say that the change between becoming a teenager to an adult is a bit more slow and a bit less sudden, but the change between becoming a kid to a teenager is more quick and more, you know, instant, and I think that makes for a more interesting story on how that change affects the others around you, and I just really liked how this movie did this. My only negative that I have with this movie is the amount of phones that these kids use in at school especially is kind of cartoony. Like, they're just always on their phones, and there was a scene where the girl, the main character, Kayla, is trying to talk to these two other girls, and the other girls are just on their phones, and I thought that was a bit unrealistic and a bit cartoony, and there are points in this movie that happens. You know, at home, the amount of phones that are used are, like, fine, but I think at school, the phones are a bit less used, and I just thought that was a bit unrealistic and took me out of the movie. Yeah, but that's my only negative about this movie. When I first watched it, I was gonna rate it a 5 out of 5 stars. After rewatch, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, that is a 4 out of 5 stars. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it, and I definitely enjoyed watching 8th grade again because it's a great movie. If you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's a really good movie. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and bye-bye.